a good decision maker and come up with informed decision in the future so that we can have a better future. Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am very grateful. Thanks for
Mandela. Mandela is my name.
Mr. Wandera. Thank you very much. Wow. That's an introduction. My name is Ann Nyabuti. My father's name is Nyabuti. I am a mother of 2 girls, aged 10 and 5. I like the word teacher than lecturer. Lecturer is, but I am a teacher. I teach with a passion, but I'm professionally I'm an accountant, so I teach accounting by the grace of God. Yeah, and I'm honored to be here today, and I'm glad that we have you. We are the problem, we are the solution.
Yes, and the people with the problem is
I like the fact that we are the we are the solution. Good. So I'm glad that you realize the problem lies here within us, and we are the same people who can generate a solution for the problems that we have. I'm humbled that I was given this opportunity to talk to us. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity because we never get, I may not meet any of us ever before, but I know the things we're going to talk about today are likely to impact our lives years to come. I'm just wondering, what am I supposed to talk about? Because youth are very dynamic, sensitive people. Kuna kitu ninaweza sema mnisikize, kuna kitu naweza anza kusema mfunge masikio. But I think with the heart of being a teacher, being a mother, having been a wife some time back, being back to a youth again by circumstances, I hope we will find a level ground to discuss. And let's pray. Father Lord in heaven, we want to thank you for life. Thank you for good health. Thank you for sanity of mind. Thank you for the privilege of being here. I don't know what to tell your children, Lord. It may be just a casual talk, but Lord, I believe you want to impact a life today. And Lord, I pray that you may give me the right words and the right attitude, that I may represent your character, Lord, even as we find solutions to what our sins we need today, Lord. May you give us your Holy Spirit to guide us, Lord. And just let your will be done. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen.
It's something called purpose. Today I want to ask us thought-provoking questions. Thought-provoking questions. You may never have asked yourself these questions before. But if someone asks you, who am I? Or who are you? What would be the first thing you say? Who are you? I've just met you today. So who are you?
they are interactive. Maybe they are afraid of you, but they are very interactive. So you can just pick any. That's what we do.
Okay, Sawa. Okay, just that's a rhetorical question. I'll get a place where you give me answers. But who are you? The first question will be asked. The second question will be, why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here could be this place or in the face of your life. Why are you born in that particular family? Why not my father's child? Why are you that particular father's child? Why do you belong to your mother and your father and not to any other person? Why are you a brother or a sister to that particular sibling and not any other? Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? Where am I going? If you get to answer those three questions in your life, I think we are problem, we are the solution. I believe we'll get there. Who am I? Why am I here? And where am I going? Those are all questions that answer the question of purpose clarity. Purpose. There are people who are 90 years old but they have not found out why they are in this world. I'm asking. But there's someone who can be 10 years old and they know why they are here and they impact life positively within the few years they live. May come to, God forbid, there is a funeral, that person just lived for 20 years, but the impact they created, someone else who has lived for 60 years has not reached them. Why? And I think that's the question we need to ask ourselves. Who am I? Once you realize who you are, you will find the relevance. Why am I here today? And then it will give you a vision that will chart your life as you go forward. So I think I can come back to you. I don't bite. So who are you? If someone asks you who you are, what's the first thing that comes in your head? Very good, your name. So part of who you are is your name. Your name forms part of your identity. Who are you? What else comes to your mind if I ask you who you are? I am a. Your gender is the second thing that comes into your head. And if you don't understand your name, and you don't understand your gender, umesikia watu wanaitwa Andrew alafu wanabadilika wanaanza kuwa so you can't tell stories sometimes. So unless you get your purpose clear, you will not even feel nice in this body. Nitaenda nianze kufanya some plastic surgery so that I can look like some people with beards. Ama mjasikia vitu kama hizo?
It happens.
Yeah, so who are you? Your name. Who are you? Your gender, and being comfortable with your gender. And then who are you? The other bit is your origin. Where are you coming from? Origin could mean the color of your skin. Ladies, some of us tukienda campus tutapewa pills na friends wenzetu. We are told if we swallow some capsules, this melanin will shed off and we will look
Like in Zoom.
So if I'm not comfortable in my skin, I will go and start looking for another skin that is not necessarily mine. So your origin in terms of your race, being comfortable with your race, being comfortable with the family you're coming from, it may not be the best, but at least you appreciate that these are the specific people I was given to raise in. And I must say, no child is an accident. We don't have illegitimate children. We have irresponsible parents. We don't have illegitimate children, we have irresponsible parents. Just because you were born, that makes you legitimate. You were supposed to be here. The circumstances of your birth may not have been perfect, but you were supposed to be here. And if you don't understand, despite the circumstances of my birth, I am rightfully on this earth, then you can't even accomplish the purpose you're here for. So who am I? And that's a question I want you, unfortunately, I am a teacher, so I give homework. Already at the beginning of the class, I'm giving homework. When we go home, I just want you to get a piece and write, who am I? Try and answer that question. Who am I? As broadly as you can. I want us to approach this question from a position of victory. By now, all these people know how children are made. My daughter is still teaching them how children come. How children are bought. Children are bought in the supermarket or they are brought by the fairy god. Anyway, we all know, I believe by now, some people have learned biology, that some ova met with a sperm and became a zygote, and that's how you're here. So the first bit that should even make you happy, you're the sperm that won. Yes. What have I said? What does that mean? I am the sperm that won. For biology tulifunzwa kwamba there is only one ovum, and then Several sperms run to fertilize this ovum, but only one makes it, and that's how you came out, and everything else is gone. If you have never felt successful ever in your life, that should be the one reason you have. At least there was some victory for even your conception. For you to be conceived, there was victory then. So why would you feel a failure today if at that day one you were already a victory?
Sure.
So we should not walk around beaten, oh I cannot, oh I can't do A, oh I can't do B. You're alive, and that in itself was a victory. So anything else you're going to have as days go by is also a victory if you choose it to be. So who am I? My name. Who knows the meaning of their name? I'm glad there's a pastor here, so he will back me up that there is meaning in your name. So please go find out the meaning of your name. Funny enough, you find yourself living the meaning of your name.
Yeah.
Maisikia mtu anaitwa Nyang'au na ni Nyang'au. You're laughing. Have you ever had someone called happiness and they are happy, ever smiling, ever happy? There is meaning in your name.
Yeah.
And it's important for you to go and ask your parents, by the way, mbona uliniita lile jina nimeitwa? Because some of us were named wrongly, and unfortunately we replicate the wrong meaning of our name as we go on. And to back that up, there was one character in the Bible called Jacob. The name Jacob means schemer. Alizaliwa hivi na akaitwa schemer. Na akakuwa schema maisha yake yote. Alikuwa schema aje? Aliipa mpaka birthright ya ndugu yake. So the meaning we are given, the meaning, one day I believe God will give you the privilege of being a parent. The meaning you give your child, please don't just go call your child Alejandro because you watched it in Ringo. When you watch mahali ukapata jina, haujui hiyo jina imetoka wapi, umekuja umepea mtoto wako jina. Sawa? Yeah, so let's be careful about the name that we give ourselves and the name we attach ourselves with. There are those who carry their Bibles. 1 Chronicles chapter 4 verse 9. We find a character called Jabez. The name Jabez means pain. Pain. Sasa yeye alizaliwa hivi na mama yake akamwita pain. Ukisoma 1 Chronicles yote, kuanzia chapter 1 mpaka karibu chapter 9, ni genealogies. So and so begat so and so. So and so begat so and so. So and so bore so and so. As in, it is just huyu akaoa huyu akapata mtoto huyu. Huyu akaoa huyu akapata mtoto fulani. Hivyo hivyo. The only place where we have a change of that is that verse 9 of 1 Chronicles chapter 4 verse 9. At least for that specific person called Jabez, he's given like 2-3 verses which are not necessarily genealogy. Please allow me to use your Bible. Sorry. Kuna watu ambao walikuwa wanaitwa Bereans kitambo. Hawako wanaambiwa kitu wanasikiza tu. Unajua mnaweza assume mimi ninajua Biblia sana. Alafu niko hapa ninawaambia kitu kumbe nimetoa mambo yangu kwenye nimeyatoa. So please, when someone mentions a Bible verse, get your Bible and confirm. Don't just take the word of God as someone has said. Maybe it is even distorted or misquoted. If you look at 1 Chronicles chapter 1, Adam, Seth, Enosh, Kenan, majina ya watu, the sons of Shem. Abraham was the father of Isaac, the sons of Sire. These are the kings who reigned in Edom. These are the sons of Israel, the sons of Jerahmeel, the sons of Har, the sons of David, sons of Judah. Hiyo tu inaonyesha the sons of Simeon were ABC. The only place where it stops is verse 9. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers, and his mother called his name Jabez, saying, because I bore him with you. Now Jabez akachoka kuwa uchungu. Unajua ile umeitwa uchungu, umeishi maisha ya uchungu mpaka umefeel uchungu. So he reached a place where he says, hapana, mimi sitaki kuitwa uchungu tena. So what did he do in verse 10? Jabez called on God of Israel, saying, "Oh, that thou wouldst bless me, and enlarge my border, and that thy hand might be with me, and that thou wouldst keep me from harm, so that it might not hurt me." And God granted what he asked. So for those two verses, verse 9 and verse 10, at least someone became a showstopper. The show was about genealogies. Huyu wakazaa huyu, huyu wakazaa huyu. But that was the one person who said, "I am tired of being called son of so and so. And now I will turn to God. My mother may have given me the wrong name, but there is a God who is able to change my destiny regardless of how I have been named." So he called on that person who is responsible for his destiny and asked, "Mimi nimekuja kuitwa uchungu, tafadhali just bless me, enlarge my territories, so that let your hand be upon me, so that I may be free of pain." And the Bible says God answered his request. So God is very happy with us when we get to know our purpose. And part of your purpose is your name. And if maybe what you will be called by your parents does not excite you with the name they have given you, you can choose a name and call yourself, even if it will not be written on your birth certificate. But if you want to be changed, you can call yourself Change. And then everywhere you step, you bring change, wherever you go. You can call yourself Blessing, and everywhere you step, you bring blessing. So there is meaning in your name. And this one character who was called Schema, akarealize maisha yake si poa. And eventually God actually changed his name. Akasema, wewe umekuwa ukiitwa Schema na umekuwa Schema maisha yako yote. Today I'm calling you Israel. And what does Israel mean? There are some versions that says, "May God prevail," others says, "Prince of God." There are so many meanings of that. But now his name was changed from Schema to something else. And so one of his wives gave birth. And when she was dying, she named a son, Rachel. Rachel akapata Joseph, mtoto wa kwanza. The second later was very good, so akapata mtoto, akamwita nani? Hakumuita Benjamin. Rachel hakuita mtoto wake Benjamin, by the way.
Benon.
Rachel aliita mtoto wake Benon. Benon means, it means pain as well. Pain or someone can, elder unaweza angalia, I think it is in Genesis chapter 30 something. But the name yenye alimpatia was a name associated with pain, because she was giving birth in pain, and that's what she named. But the father said, "You're not going to name my child Pain, because I know the value of her name. So I'm changing your name. You will no longer be called Benoni, you will be called Benjamin." So this one who had lived the shame of the wrong name knew the meaning of a wrong name and changed it and gave the right name to the son Benjamin. So tafadhali, find out and live up to the meaning of the name. If your name does not necessarily have the meaning you want to attach to it, attach a meaning that you desire, and then live up to the meaning of the name. We are still under purpose clarity. Who am I? Who am I? We have said your name. The second bit is your gender. God did not make a mistake in giving test steps. Na mtu mwingine akapewa estrogen and what those hormones we learn about. God didn't make a mistake to create me as Ann and not any other person. Be comfortable in your skin. Whether you're female, that is who you are designed to be, and it's okay. If you're male, that is who you are designed to be, and it is okay. What is the gender confusion in order to be transgender? There was no one who was born semi upper katikati. Be comfortable with who you are, and it's okay to be male, it's okay to be female. Origin. I have mentioned it before that there is a reason why you are your father's daughter. There is a reason why you're born in that particular family. There is a reason why those are your siblings. And that brings about the question of relevance. How relevant am I in my family at that particular period of time? There is something that only you can do in that family and no one else can. Mbona wewe si Mchinese? Sasa nilikuwa unatutembelea unatuundia SGR. Why Kenyan? There's a purpose That's why you were born Kenyan and not Ugandan and nothing else. The Bible says in Acts chapter 17 that God sets boundaries for even where we live. He's the one who set a boundary. Huyu mtoto wangu atazaliwa Kenya, ataishi Kenya, bring impact Kenya, ninaweza mfungulia aende atembee mahali fulani, but this is the specific place I want her or his impact in. So if, with the question of relevance, you should always ask yourself, if you find yourself at any specific place, physically, socially, emotionally, if you find yourself there, ask yourself, what does God want me to do in my generation? Why were you not born 50 years ago? Why have you not been born 50 years to come? Why are you here today? Consider last thought-provoking questions so that you can also go and answer them for yourself. Mbona wewe hukuzaliwa zile enzi za World War I, uende ukapigane? And why have you not been born 100 years from now? Can you imagine the level of technology we have right now? So imagine how much there will be 100 years to come. Why were you not kept until that technology age? Mambo tunaona kwa science fiction, maybe hiyo ndio ingekuwa maisha yako uko mbele, lakini ukajipata sana. So the question of origin and relevance with your generation, you have happened to be alive in this current generation to solve the problems of this generation. Don't regret why you're young or why you're old in a particular generation. You're right where you're supposed to be in terms of physical placement, in terms of age, in terms of family. Where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be. So can you bring change or influence at that particular place where you are? And in the near future, when God blesses us with families, wasichana, ukienda kwa ile mother-in-law, there's a reason why you are in that mother's house and you're not in any other person's house. Mungu hafanyangi achezi kamari na maisha. And that's why he will put you with the right spouse. Mungu achezangi karata na maisha yako. So the person who he will have selected for you as a spouse will come. You may be heartbroken once, twice, but that person will come. So wasichana msione, men are few, siku hizi wanaume ni wachache. So ratio, mazonga ratio ni what? The men are few in this world, so women have to share men. Said who? Said who? Yeah, so I don't know. I just want us to be comfortable with wherever you will be placed by the will of God. If the will of God leads you to a particular person, ask yourself, why am I in this person's life, and bring positive influence to their lives. Who am I? Why am I here is a question of relevance. Where am I going is a question of your vision. You are not born to eat, drink, and grow. Plants do the same. They sprout, they feed, they bear fruit, and they die here. But for you, you're a human being who has been given a purpose, and you need to make sure that you accomplish your purpose. And it's important at your own young age to find out what your purpose is. When we teach our students, we give them exams, and when they fail, when they get 40, 39 and below, you get a fail and you have to do a supplementary. And when you fail that supplementary, you have to redo the whole year by doing a retake. That's exactly how God does his exam. I am learning that. There's a lesson God wants you to learn, and unless you learn it, you don't move to the next glory. Is that it? We always grow from glory to glory. There's a lesson you're supposed to learn in a particular circumstance, and you will not leave that circumstance until you learn it. So the earlier we learn to meet our purpose in our various placements of life, the easier it will get as we go by. So who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? Close your eyes, please. We have attended funerals before. So we know how funerals look like. There is a casket somewhere with someone in there. There are people. Ni nini huwa unasikianga kukiwa na funeral? Kuna watu wanalia mahali. Alafu kuna tumaua tunangoja kuwekwa juu ya kaburi. Kuna two speeches tunaongelewa huko mbele. Watu gani wanakujanga kwa funeral? Your family, people's families, people's friends and neighbors. Karibia hiyo casket, whatever color it is. Look at the person in that casket. Now imagine that person is you. You're the one who is lying in that casket. And there are people around you who are saying some things. Are we imagining? There is a casket. The person in that casket is me. The people surrounding us are my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my friends, my enemies, my neighbors. And they are saying things. Now open your eyes. Take your book and write what they are saying. Please. Sorry, it's a disturbing imagery, but it is necessary. Write around 5 things that those people are saying. Assume that tumefika hapo kwenye kaburi limechimbwa. The casket is somewhere here. Imewekwa kwa vile tu zinaziteremsha. Na hapo wanasema tu vitu tu kuhusu mtu kwa casket. Tunasema wewe jamaa, tafadhali fikiria na uandike. It's a necessary lesson.
You can always be somebody who thinks. Think about something others.
Hao watu wanasema nini kukuhusu? We are imagining our last day on earth and what people say are saying about us. It's okay. I won't tell anyone anything. Yeah. Nikisikwambia usome hapa uji advertise. Unaweza kuwa unasema attaching your achievements to your legacy. Legacy is that which will outlive you. After you have been dead, buried, rotten, pale chini, because we know the nature of life and to dust you will go, what will be left after you're gone? What legacy are you leaving us? So if there is no legacy in terms of achievement that you're leaving us, you did not live your purpose. And so you are a wasted life. How does that feel? It's important for you to realize that you will not be here forever. You're young, you're beautiful, you're adorable, yes, but you won't be here forever, right? And it's important to vision or to envision your life coming to an end, having lived it. Are you happy with how much you have done by the time you're leaving us? Or is there some more you should have done that you have not done yet? So your purpose is making your legacy part of your achievements. And unfortunately, if you have a teacher, you will have very many assignments. So can you write for me the word spices? S-P-I-C-E-S. Spices. Spices. Spices is an acronym, and it stands for the different phases of your life. There's a bit of you that is spiritual, there's a bit of you that is physical, there's a bit of you that is intellectual, there's a bit of you that is commercial, there is a bit of you that is emotional, and there's a bit of you that is social. So let's see those five spices. The first S, spiritual, your physical, your intellectual, your commercial, emotional, and the last S is social. I want each of us to go and set goals in each of those spaces of our lives. What spiritual goals do you want to have? What physical goals do you want to have? What intellectual goals would you want to have? What commercial goals do you want to have? What emotional goals do you want to have? And what social goals do you want to have? And if you take those S's and you draw a circle, let's draw a circle. Draw a circle. Draw a circle kwa hiyo kitabu yako. Then divide that circle into six what? 6 slices of bread. Away. As in, see, hiyo circle yako iko na center. Kutoka kwa center sasa gawa hiyo circle mara 6. Gawa hiyo circle mara 6, alafu kwa kila space andika the letters we have talked about. S, P, I, C, E, S. So there is an S, there is a P, there is an I, there is a C, there is an E. E, spices. E, egg. Alafu another S. Here. What you have is what we call the wheel of your life. What is the wheel of your life? And the wheel of your life will dictate how fast you will spin. How fast are you going to spin in your life? So if you don't score very well spiritually, it will make the wheel slower. If you don't score very well physically, in terms of taking care of this, the temple of the Holy Spirit, eating the right kind of food, eating them at the right time, taking care of your health physically. And that's why we have different health. There is your spiritual health, there is your physical health, there is your intellectual health, your emotional health, your social health. If any of those bits is sick, the whole of you will be sick. So you need to take care of all those facets of your health. And please allow me to speak about a topic that is very, very passionate in my life currently. Some people are very healthy out here. They go to church, but they are sick here. They are sick in the head. Sick in the head meaning they're mentally ill. mental illness is not just picking pieces on the street. Ukitaka upate mtu anaokota karatasi kwa barabara, you sneer, you laugh, or you're indifferent about it and you walk away. The President of Kenya commissioned a task force to look into the happiness index of Kenyans. Umesikia kitu kama hiyo? There's a task force that was headed by a doctor called Dr. Njenga that was commissioned by the President of Kenya to look into the happiness index of people in Kenya. Na akitoa speech yake, I can't remember whether it was 6th, alimention kwamba people are not mentally healthy these days, and that is why we have very high cases of homicides, femicides, suicide. People are sick. And you can be sick even as young as you are. So please, if you feel pressure within you, share it with your parents. If you feel your parents will not listen, share it with your mentors, the ones who are organizing such things. If you feel they won't listen, look for someone and talk to them. Could be sick and he's hiding in alcohol and drug abuse and you're not sure they are sick. So that has come as a by the way. Take care of your spiritual health. Take care of your physical health. Take care of your intellectual health. Ukiwa shule, soma. Take care of your commercial health in terms of what goals do you have about your future, about the healthy ways of handling money. You're home for the next 1 year. Kuna mtu ameambia mama yake amnunulie vifaranga ale. You see, has any of us told the mother, Mom, so you can have a kitchen garden huko nyuma, nipande dania, zile pesa unanao kununuanga dania unanipatia na nunua credit. Ama we are the kind of people who are just telling their mom, Mom, nataka pesa ya credit, nataka pesa ya bundles. Alright, so people have phones, nataka pesa ya bundles, and you have a whole life ahead of you. So, how healthy are you handling money? If you don't learn how to handle money in a healthy manner, you will either love money very much to the point of being greedy, or you will be so desperate that, girls, any man who will offer you 2,000 shillings, you will go to bed with them. For 500 these days.
50.
Imagine. So you need to have a healthy relationship with money. And the best way to learn how to have a healthy relationship with money is learn how to make it. Even if it's a dirty way of making it, in terms of making your hands dirty on the ground, go ahead. How many of us have parents who run shops, but there is no day we will offer to help them run shop? Unfortunately, we are raising a generation of people who are so, what's the word? We have babied you so much. I don't know whether it's life that will toughen us or what. We have, as old as you are, some of you tunakuliwa nguo, tuko na house help, but hakuna siku tutamsaidia hata kupika chai. My life. Hapo tuseme kitu because some of us are culprits. We have house helps at home, but you can't just wake up and say, I'm home, let me mop the house. And our parents are okay with that. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so have some commercial goals, have some emotional goals. Be emotionally healthy. Emotionally healthy means, when you are genius, people who are extraordinary in the sense that their IQ is very high. IQ means intelligence quotient. Their intelligence quotient is very high. But these days, people don't employ you because you got an A in school. People employ you because you can solve a problem, even if you're a C student. Hao ambao wanapewa tenders na government saa hii ya COVID, ni A walipata. Ni nini? Wametengeneza kitanda ya hospitali. Unasikia?
Yeah.
The people who are making beds.
Yeah.
That person may not even be an A student. They could actually be a C student, but they learned a skill. The skill will pay you better than the A will ever pay you. My job is Yes, the kind of job I do. Even if I work for 5 years, sitawahi fikia mshahara ya rudisha ya siku moja. Am I right? We know Rudisha, we know who else? Paul Tergat, those guys who run, our athletes. The money they make in an hour or in seconds, I cannot make it even if I work for 5 hours. What does that tell you? Education is very good. Yes, please read kabisa. But also find out your talents, find out your skills, be good at something other than books. Kama watu wameenda kucheza basketball, cheza jamaa. Kama watu wameenda kucheza hockey, football, play. Who's your favorite footballer? Men? Okay, sorry, I am biased. Stereotype. You love football? So I was right in my stereotyping. You love football? Who's your favorite? Sorry? Mariga. Pesa Mariga anatengeneza kwa this per hour per week. Ni how much? Ni ngapi? Huwezi jua. Nani anajua pesa yenye mtu anatengeneza per week? Hapana. There are people who make dollars, millions per week, ambazo sisi hatuwezi tengeneza. So find out what you're very good at, perfect it. Practice, make it good. Read. Usiache kusoma watoto wangu tafadhali, soma. But on top of education, get something, get a skill. If I am in the interviewing panel, you both bring me degree certificates. You're a very successful engineer. You're also a very successful engineer. Both of you have second class upper division. What will make me choose who to give the job? What extra thing are you bringing to the table other than the certificate? So if I realize you're a very good basketballer and we have a basketball team like KCB have a rugby team, right? See, we know that. So if you're coming to us and you're a very good rugby player, we know very well, as much as you will work for us, you will also play in our league. And so we're likely going to win. What will make me not give you a job and leave this other person? Education is good, but it's not everything. And maybe, just maybe, COVID made you stay home for a whole year for your parents to teach you what you have not been learning in school. Maybe. I don't know. I choose to see good things even in the bad.
Yeah.
So my daughters, maybe I had not taught them how to wash their clothes, and now I have to teach them how to do it. They didn't know how to cook, and Margot has said, education is not just arithmetics. We're also supposed to teach you life skills. So can you just learn a little bit of those life skills? I want you to write the word shape downwards. Write the word shape downwards. We are still talking about purpose clarity. Nimewapea homework ngapi so far? Sorry, that is an occupational hazard. By virtue of being a teacher, you find yourself looking for assignments in every page of class. Nimewapea homework gani? Homework number 1 was what? Rose. Assignment number 1 ilikuwa? Okay, ni assignment gani umeshika pale nimesema? Very good. So that was our first assignment. You go and write down, who am I? What can you say about yourself so far? Are you happy with what you get? How can you make it better? And to help you learn that better, uzuri siku hizi kuna vitabu ambazo ni e-books. Mr. Jonah will download for us a book called Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren, and then send it to one of your facilitators. Please read it. It's a very good book. purpose, friend, and life. The first chapter will tell you are not an accident. And so if you're not an accident, nothing about your life should be an accident. That was assignment number 1. Assignment number 2 was the spices. I told you to go and look for goals. What spiritual goals do you want to have? For example, you can say, I want to at least pray every morning I wake up, or every night as I go to bed. I want to read my Bible, and this is my plan to read my Bible. I want to teach my sister's Bible stories, or my brothers. You know, some of us don't even carry the young ones we have in our home as if they are our responsibility. Sister kama brother kwa kijua akisema, akisikia story anasema, "Ni sister yangu aliniambianga hiyo story." For example, story ya Moses. Aliniambia sijui Moses alifanya akafanya. You have impacted a life. So what spiritual goals do you want to have? What physical goals do you want to have? Some of us after this 1 year, I don't know whether we will be physically fit. Are we eating right? Are we exercising right? Are we, yeah. And then intellectual goals. What do you want about your intellect? Intellect is not just about classwork. Have we read any book? Fascinating literature, storybooks za shule. What about the inspirational books that are out there? Do we read them? Those are intellectual. And then C, commercial goals. You have all decided. Go and find a way of how to generate money. We stop. In school, I tell my students, I am teaching you to be an accountant, but there is a very high probability you won't get a job. I'm a sadist. Can you imagine how many students graduate every year? How many jobs are in the job market? Now, can the job market absorb all of you? So what happens to the rest who don't get jobs? Ukitoka shule na ile mentality, nimesoma nipate job. If you don't get a job, you get a mental breakdown, unfortunately. So the best thing is, I go to school to get a change of perspective. So that even if I come back home and I become a farmer, I farm like a graduate farmer. Hata kupika, na venye graduate farmer anaweza pika. Unashika hiyo story? Yes, as in your perspective is changed. You don't think the same way as someone who did not go to school. You may not get the job, but your perspective to life is different. Yeah, so it's okay. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm emphasizing on a skill. Learn a skill. Be very good in class, yes, but please get a skill. So, spiritual goals, physical goals, intellectual goals, commercial goals, emotional goals. Take care of your emotional health. I know some of your parents are here, so I'm telling you, I'm calling you. How many of us have boyfriends and girlfriends? It's allowed. You have Mr. Wandera, who else?
Maybe you could have asked, Madam, maybe ask it this way. How many don't?
How many don't have? You don't have. So when and if we have them, if they break our hearts, what do we do? Or if we are the heartbreakers, because we can also break their hearts, what happens? Your emotional health is very important. And by the way, it's not a matter of girlfriend, boyfriend only. Your emotions are also affected by the way you relate with even your parents, with your siblings, with your friends, and with your enemies. Nani siku moja mzazi amemfanyia kitu mpaka anasema, "Yaani wewe ni mama yangu kweli?" Hapo nimepata notes mob, okay. Yeah, so take care of your emotional health, because if you're not emotionally healthy, then your whole body is also not healthy. And spices, the last one is S, social. What social relationships do you have? Do you keep relationships? Can you be a friend to someone for a whole year? Ama wewe ni mtu mwenye hata uwezi hold relationship in terms of even just a friend, your girlfriend. Are you the one who goes, you and you? Does one of you go and bite them with another person? Or are you capable of having very stable relationships? boy-girl, girl-girl, boy-boy relationships, father-mother, sibling-sibling relationships. Lastly, I think my time is almost up. Shape. The first S is your spiritual goals. For you to decode your purpose properly and to live your purpose, you need to ask yourself, what are my spiritual gifts? Maybe we can read the book of Romans chapter 12 verse. Romans chapter 12 verse 6 to 8. I think. Is there anyone here a Muslim? I seem to be referring to the Bible too much that I may cause them to be uncomfortable. No Muslim hapa. So please, I'm sorry, referral to the Bible does not necessarily mean I don't respect the other faith. Kindly don't take it as such. Romans chapter 12 verse 6. Having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. If prophecy, in proportion to our faith; if service, in our serving; he who teaches, in his teaching; he who exhorts, in his exhortation; he who contributes, in liberality; he who gives aid, with zeal; he who does acts of mercy, with cheerfulness. This verse gives us 8 ministries, 8 giftings. There are those people who are prophetic. Prophetic does not mean you're telling me what will happen tomorrow necessarily, but you have a gift of discernment. Do you have a friend ambaye anakwambia bebe hapo kwenye unaenda si pazuri na ukienda kweli unaanguka? Or even your mother, or do we have such people? They have the heart of discernment. And then we have those who are serving, who are in the gift, who have the gift of service. Ukienda kwa harusi, kuna ile mtu mwenye anaweza nawisha watu mikono na haoni big deal. They're out to being hospitable, they serve. And then there are those people who are merciful and compassionate. Kuna wale watu ambao ni exhorters, they excel in encouraging and exhortation. So it's important for you to find out what is my gifting. And then, always, find a career that helps you in your gifting. For example, for me, I realized I am a teacher. My gifting is a teacher. Professionally, I'm an accountant, but I think if I was seated on the desk as an accountant, I would not be very happy, as opposed to me standing before a class and teaching that. So if you happen to be in an area of your gifting, you become a better person in that career. There are those people who are leaders, naturally, and leader. So I think I'll send a certain gift assessment to us so that early enough you can learn what gift do I have. Do I have a gift of service? And those who have the gift of service make very good people in hospitality industry. If you tie your gifting to your career, you excel. And that's why you get most people who are in the medical field are full of mercy and compassion, and that's why they can take care of your wound when someone cannot even look at it. So the first thing is spiritual gifts. Make sure that you find out what your gift is and excel in it. H is your heart's desires. Kuna zile vitu ambazo unasikia tu kwa roho yako. You're happy about it. Your heart's desires. And the Bible says in Psalm 34, delight yourself in the Lord and He will grant you the desires of the heart. It is God who put that desire in your heart in the first place. Because it is He who causes us to will and to do His good pleasure. So even the will to do something good comes from God. So what is your heart's desires? And then A is your abilities and your talents. What are your abilities? What are your talents? And I have just said, what do you do to your abilities and your talents? You refine them, you make them good every day as you go on. P is your personality. P is your personality. A personality is an enduring character trait. Ni character yako, lakini ni character yako tu. That is who you are. We have 4 major personalities. Different psychologists give different ways of personality, of classifying you according to personality. We have those people who are called sanguines. Who are sanguines? People who are very good storytellers. Akianza kusema story, anaisema, anaiongeza utamu. They're very good people. They talk nicely. Sanguines are also very happy people. They don't easily get angry. But they also have a character flaw in that they barely keep secrets. Because they love talking and talking and talking, and in the process of talking, they may tell you a secret they had from someone else, and they didn't want to say it, but they like talking. Those are sanguines. We have people we call melancholics, a personality trait called melancholy. Melancholics are people who are perfectionists. They're perfectionists in the sense that they want things done properly. They may take a very long time to do it, but they do their things properly. If you're in boarding school, kuna ile mtu akispread kitanda yake na uikanyage ukose kuistraighten, mnakosana. We know them. Ama akipanga vitu zake hivi, halafu uje usongeshe kidogo. Nani aliharibu vitu zangu? A story inaendelea. That is who they are. They are called melancholies. The good side is they are very, very good workers, meticulous, but the wrong side is they don't allow people to make mistakes, even themselves. So they barely forgive themselves of mistakes they make, and then they don't trust other people to do their job for them because they will not do it as well as they do. Utaosha nyumba alafu mama yako atakuja arudie kwa sababu hukuosha vizuri. And then we have people we call phlegmatic. Phlegs are calm, collected, peaceful people. Hata unaweza mkanyaga na yeye atasema pole kwa kukusababisha kumkanyaga. You know those people? Their motto is peace at all costs, even if it hurts you. Phlegmatics. The good thing about them is they rarely talk, but anytime they talk sense. Sio kama sanguines. Sanguines tunaongea sana. I think I'm a sanguine to some extent. I don't know. And then we have the last one called cholerics. Cholerics are very good leaders. They push you. They are pushers. They push you towards doing something. Unfortunately, they are temperamental. They get angry very fast, and unfortunately, they are also control freaks because they like things done in a particular way. So watakusukuma ufanye kitu in a way. The good thing is they are very good leaders because they push you towards results. Of those things I've said, do you belong anywhere? You can go and read about personality traits. It's important for you to find where you belong because that will help you understand yourself better. If you realize you're a sanguine, umejaribu mpaka kuweka zip kwa mdomo na unashindwa because you find yourself talking and talking and talking and talking. That is your enduring character trait. That is how you are fashioned by God and created. If you're the kind of a person who doesn't like talking, no one will push to uendelee kuongea. Maybe you're phlegmatic and you just don't see why people keep talking every now and then. And once you understand your character trait, you understand your positives and your negatives. You strengthen your strengths, and then you improve on your weaknesses. Any particular person has 2 personality traits. You will always have one major and the other one minor. You may not have the 4 of them, but there is an enduring one that will be very glaring, na nyingine kidogo inasaidia kumoja. Niko kwa P, and then lastly, E, experiences in life. Experiences in life. We are told experience is our best teacher. Now, why have I given you the word shift? You are always shaped for your purpose. Let's write that somewhere. I am shaped for my purpose. I am shaped for my purpose. What do I mean by I am shaped for my purpose? God deposited some spiritual gifts in you that are very important for the purpose He put you on earth for. God has put some heart desires in you that will lead you to the purpose He put you here to do. God gave you some abilities and talents that if you perfect them, you will use them for your purpose. God has put a certain personality in you that is perfect for your purpose. And then He has caused you to go through some experiences that will refine you towards your purpose. So you need to find out, what shape are you? What shape are you? What shape are you? What are my spiritual gifts? What is my heart's desire? What are my abilities and talents? What is my personality? What are my experiences? And then after you have found those out, align them towards the purpose in your heart. My daughter sings shapes. Triangle, circle, square, rectangle, oval, star. Something like that. What shape is this door? Or any other door you see here? What shape is it? Why is it not a circle? It's a laughable question, but it's important. Why is this door a rectangle, not a circle? Because of its purpose. What is its purpose? To let things in. If it was circular, there are things that would not go through the door. It is rectangular because it has maybe a distorted shape. You can slant it and adjust it until, like cooking is a sofa. Of course, sofa lazima itafutiwe design, sindio? Can you imagine if the door was triangular? Would a sofa get in? So you are shaped for your purpose. The same way this door is rectangular to let in things, you have that particular shape for your purpose. Now, should you be a square and then wish you were a rectangle? How many of us wish we were some other? Honestly. If you had their giftings, you would not live your life as you're supposed to. So be happy with who you are. It's okay to be the person you are. It's okay to have the gifts you have. It's okay to have the color of the skin you have, the parents you have. It's perfectly okay, because that way you're shaped for your purpose. Appreciate the shape you have. And then don't suffer from two wrong things: gift projection and gift competition. Gift projection is, you have something. When I project something is, I have it, but I keep assuming as if it is yours. And then gift competition, I'm not contented with who I am, so I want to be so much like you. If I become your copy, who will leave me? Who will leave the person I am if I always want to be the person you are? Any questions? Teachers are always, they hear bells or they see watches. Am I supposed to be done right now?
The thing we have a timekeeper is unfortunately not available.
It's okay.
Also have the president who is not available. But the secretary came in late.
It's okay.
So secretary, what do you have to say about time?
As he thinks about what to tell us, who has a question? There's a lot about purpose clarity. Maybe as we go and read about, as and read that book I have just given us, the purpose-driven life by Rick Warren. We will, whatever I've talked about here, some of these concepts are in that. And maybe I had a short time, I could not have said all these things in their rightful way of saying it, but I hope that we have understood. Please don't suffer from gift envy also, where you envy what other people have and you forget what you should be having. Heart's desires, tumeongelea abilities and talents, personality. And with personality, please don't be apologetic about who you are. Psalm chapter 139, verse 13 to 17. When you are being formed in the secret places of your mother's womb, it is God who formed that person. So don't feel as if you all things work together for good because you love God and you have been called according to His purpose. Good things, they work for you good. Bad things, they work for you good. They may not be the perfect things that should be happening in your life, but eventually they are supposed to work for your good. Your shape may be different, it may be weird, but that is who you are, and it's okay to be the person you are. Embrace that shape, and then offer that ability to meet the purpose that God created you for. Lastly, the story of David. David went to the battleground and found his brothers and other soldiers cowered somewhere because a certain Philistine was abusing them. What did David say? Who is this uncircumcised person and what is he saying about the Lord's army? He was a shepherd boy, but he knew his purpose. He knew his purpose. I may not be a trained army man, but I know in terms of my giftings, he ended up becoming a ruler. You tell me he became a ruler wakati aliingia kwa palace. Alianza tangu kwa utoto because he could shepherd the sheep, zikitoroka na ziregesha pamoja. He could kill lions and bears. He was being shaped for the end, for the purpose. And that's why when he talks to Saul, anamwambia experience yake. Anamwambia, in the fields, I used to kill lions and bears with my bare hands, and I know the Lord will give this Philistine into my hands. Your experiences still push you towards the purpose. Eventually, he became a giant king. Hakujidharau eti kwa sababu yeye ni mdogo, so hataweza. And his heart's desire was to ensure that the name of the Lord was not profaned. And so he met his purpose and he understood his spiritual gifting. He understood his heart's desire. He knew his abilities and his talents. He knew his personality in terms of the person he really is, his enduring character traits, and the experiences he had had in the field, they shaped him for the purpose that he ended up having. So, yeah. The last thing you're going to do is draw 2 circles. Draw 2 circles on the side. Kwa kila circle chora macho, unachora nyuso za watu. So on both of those, draw eyes, draw a nose, then draw one of them with a smile and the other one with a frown. So moja smile itaenda hivi kama mdomo, nyingine itaenda hivi. Sio? Mwalimu, sijui next time tutakuwa na ka picture mahali.
We are working on that now.
So, yes, something like this. Aya, si mmoja amesmile hivi, mwingine sasa hii iwe inverted. Si kuna kama na ile emoji ya mtu amenuna. Hiyo sasa ndio. Alafu kutoka kwa hiyo sapo, uchore arrows kwenda nje hivi. Alafu huyu mwingine mchore arrows zinakuja kwake hivi. Meshika. Meleo. Huyu mwenye amefrown, arrows zinakuja kwake. Huyu mwenye amesmile, arrows zinatoka kwake. What's the difference between those 2 faces? One is a victim of circumstances. Oh, my mother is bad. Oh, I was born in a family of so many children. Oh, I went to a public school. Oh, sijui ameniacha. Oh. Sasa yeye anaona kana kwamba environment bombard na mambo mengi. Then the other one, where someone is smiling, there's a circle around them. That circle is their boundary. Do you have any boundaries in your life? Do you have any boundaries in your life? And then from that boundary is where he anasema, yes, I know life has been so hard to me, but I am choosing to respond like this. So this other one, the circumstances are the same, but this other one is choosing to see the glass One is seeing it half empty, the other one is seeing it half full. The one for half empty is, oh, they have beaten me. Oh, my parents could not afford to buy me a phone, so I cannot be on WhatsApp. The other one is, I may not afford a phone on WhatsApp, but say, you know, a friend who can tell me what they have discussed. Or I can go and ask about, as in, you're not a victim of your circumstances. You have a boundary. You don't allow people to stand on, to step on your feet, and also circumstances don't break. Any question? For the 7 years I have taught or so, when students don't ask questions, it's either they have understood nothing that we have taught, or
They have understood everything.
do they understand everything really? No one.
Never.
Maybe they don't. So I choose the first one. Hatujashika kitu. Kama tumeshika sana, tumekuwa bombarded na information nyingi mpaka hatujui tuulize gani. Which is which? Any question? Any comment? Feedback. Feedback can come in terms of a question, it can come in terms of a comment, it can come in terms of but silence is not an option. Secretary. Leaders always go fast. You have anything to say? Nothing. Any question? Yes, sir.
Habari zenu. Namshukuru Mungu kwa sababu ya hii neema. I want to support